Pretty warm out here. It's a nice little breeze, actually. Oh man, there's like some gone darn waddling type rednecks over there. Let me see. Is that correct? I really wish they had a tiny little monitor on the front of that camera. It's time for... It's easy to have a vlog turn into like a list of resentments and shit you're angry about. I've tried not to do that, but I know I have. Man, last night was a real deal. I'm just waking up. I mean, man, is that angled right? Oh, well, that'll have to do. A little windy out today. A bunch of stuff. Hello. I found some DVDs. I've been married 5 times. I found some DVDs I made of, and this is like in the late 90s. It had to be. I made my own DVDs of the videos of like getting married, and unfortunately, I mean, I found one of Natasha. I married this Russian girl briefly. It said on the video I said on there I was 34 and she was 20. I was 12 years old and she was like 22, and she was a character. I'd forgotten about what a stunningly beautiful woman she was. She was actually a Russian supermodel at one time. I don't know how I find them. Oh, she found me, actually. And, wow. Unfortunately, a lot of it's... She didn't have any clothes on, and neither did I half the time. You know, so I wish I could use it. I was looking for... I've been doing this thing to see if I can. I'm either going to call it defense or call it rebuilding the wall, or call it defense. And basically, it's redoing a bunch of Pink Floyd songs, one a day for a week, you know. And the first couple have come out stellar. But I pulled out about at least 15 or 20 guitars last night and strung them all over the place and shot. I'll probably upload some of that later on. Yeah, you know, the upshot with Natasha, God, she was beautiful. She found me. I had a thing on American Singles, and she found me. And in like 93 or 94, 95 probably, I guess. And I, at that time, was into video conferencing through Cornell University, CU, see me. And you'll have to bear with me today, but God, what a beautiful woman she was. Crazy as hell, but beautiful and smart. But I watched the whole, like, as I was going to sleep, like at least 2-hour DVD. Because a lot of it's just talking, and where my head was at, where hers was at. And it was really interesting. She contacted me, and then we started exchanging letters. And then after more than 10,000 letters, and a year went by, and I also made a way that I could, a mobile uplink on a laptop then that I could video conference with with a cell phone as a modem out to cell phone to satellite, a whole elaborate deal. It cost me like several $1,000s a month, but I could go anywhere and be on the internet. That was unheard of back then, and made it all on a Mac laptop, hardware and software too, some of the software anyway, and my own software for the addressing the cell phone and from the modem. And so I could video conference anywhere, and also it was just this big long deal, and we really clicked. She has a PhD in linguistics from Moscow University, and so it's just a whole package there. But I was in like my third studio. I was 34 years old, and things were going good. I'll tell you about her temperament, though. I had the Drifters, and the original Drifters, and that's an honor when somebody like that comes in. And their manager, Steve, who I don't remember, we were good friends. He has a master's in administration of justice. He used to be some big, we talked about a lot. He was in the intelligence community, and a smart guy and a fun guy, through that PhD or whatever he has. I think it's PhD actually in justice, but so everybody wants to do music, even though they've got these great careers. Everybody wants to be a movie star or a music star. It's insane, So he brought in the Drifters, and Natasha was always dressed to the nines, like a Italian supermodel on a runway, She was kind of like owning which I have, owning a Porsche or a Ferrari or a sports car at the time, where it's like you can afford to buy the car, but you don't really realize at first. Like if you have a car like that, double what it costs for the car to store it properly, to take care of it properly, to maintenance it properly. It's like having giraffe money, like Michael Jackson, So she was like that, and so I had the original Drifters in. And she always got Cosmopolitan magazine, and I was mastering their record. They're called the Bean Brothers. They were. This is in the 90s. They're probably dead. They were pretty old. Some of them are dead anyway. And Natasha had seen a new color of nail polish, and she couldn't drive, and she had seen a new color of nail polish in a magazine, and she had right as I was about ready to finalize their album, had a song or two to go to master, and things were going good, and I hit it off with them, and they were super friendly. It's super cool, real humble, and it's obvious they'd gone broke, and didn't have anything really. I felt bad. It was like $250 an hour, and it was, like 12 hours, and I felt real bad because it's obvious they were like real poor, and anyway, she, towards the end of the session, wanted that new color of nail polish she saw in Cosmopolitan, and she started talking about it, and then she went insane about it. She went crazy, and she stopped the whole session and threw herself down on the floor in this gorgeous, like, white outfit she had on, and was rolling on the floor, crying and throwing a fit and screaming and pulling her hair. She was a cutter, cut her arms a lot and shit. You know, she had a lot of problems too. Thoroughbred. And anyway, stopped the whole session, and I was so mortified and embarrassed. That's just not cool, you know. And I went like, oh man, finally after about literally 30 minutes of her just, you know, clawing, you could smell the adrenaline, fighting, scratching, bitching, I stopped the whole thing and I go, oh man, guys, I'm really sorry. She's having some kind of emergency or something. I'm really sorry, man. Come back tomorrow. I'll finish it for free. I'll knock 2 hours off, which is $500, you know. That's cool. I'm just so sorry. You know, she's having some kind of an emergency is all I could come up with. And they were looking at me, and the main guy, this big black guy, I think his name was John, he, as they were all walking out, he came up and put his arm around me. He goes, hey man, don't worry about it. He goes, I got one at home just like it. And they did. They came in. They were cool, man. I left her at home. They came in the next day and they paid me all the money, you know. But then on that tape, I was really rapping and Russian with her, and I didn't understand a word now. Language sneaks up on you like that. It's like one day, you know, 1 word, then 10 words, and 20 words, and you go, well, I don't really speak that language. But then, you know, later on, it looks like to everybody else you do, you know. And I kind of did, just like other languages. It's weird. There's a point where you don't speak it, and then all of a sudden you go, damn, I speak Chinese pretty well, you know. I need to upload that tape of me learning Chinese. Tape. A computer scientist using the word tape. But, yeah, my mom, that was weird with Natasha. Finally, what happened was, it all ended in like one weekend. You know, it was going really great. We were totally in love on the video, but she was a real pain in the ass. A real thoroughbred, needed constant water and feed. And I was just like, dude, I'm busy. I loved her to death. Went into a real deep depression after that, shut everything down, moved into a little room. And her parents were nuts about her, and so she had been talking to her parents again and called them, and in one weekend just she left and took everything, left the trash in the little apartment she had rented near the studio, and just disappeared. Never talked to her again. She tried to call back about a month later, and she left a message in Russian how much she loved me and she wanted to come back. She was sorry, and I was like, you know what? I have been through this before. Same song, second verse. I didn't even take the call, but I fell into a real bad depression the first time. Shut everything down. Went basically broke and lived in a tiny little apartment for about at least a year. And I suffered too from a bout of anorexia where I lost, you know, I was 100 or 210 pounds when I started. I was like 145 when I got out of that little room. And so yeah, I mean, anorexia, one of the girls I'm in contact with said something about that, and it's, you know, for women a lot of it's about body, and I went to meetings and everything. I was pretty bad off. But for women, a lot of it's about body image, and for men, it's about self-hatred, self-loathing, and self-sabotage even, I guess. I don't know. But, you know, my dad was just so mean to me. I'm the only one that didn't go to his funeral when he died, and I didn't cry, I didn't care. I was working with that Spanish composer that day, and I was like, I got a call on my cell phone, your dad's dead. And I was like, and the news is, I felt relief that I would never, no matter what I did, he'd put it down. I just felt relief, like, well, I'll never have to hear his foul fucking pie hole attack me again. Fuck him. And I still feel that way, because he hurt me so bad when I was a kid. So bad, and taught me that I was nothing less than garbage, to hate myself. I felt like I didn't even have the right to breathe when I was a kid. I literally didn't. That's why I formally divorced my family for 30 years, and they know nothing about me, which was, you know, not so good. Because now I left. A young party guy went and, got a first-class education almost constantly, and used to teach at a major university, one of the top ones in the world, and ran a top-flight recording studio, consulted for all kinds of government agencies also, and made a lot of money and other stuff. Oh, was a record executive. But I left as a young, kind of party animal. And so they didn't know me all that time. And here I come back, and a lot of the stuff I did, it isn't like they give you a huge award for designing the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, theater, or even nobody even takes note of it, That was in like the early 90s, stuff like that. Or when you Ghost, and I asked a lot of people, don't put my name on your album, because it really, out of the thousands of people that came through, it's rare. Making it, man. People that make it, most people you're not going to want to be associated with, but people that make it out of the thousands, we're talking like I've worked on 11,000 albums. The ones that I know personally that made it from scratch were like 11 or so, and then thousands of already gold and platinum albums came through, and I did them. But so out of 11,000, there's like 100 gold and platinums that I have mastered, worked on, and so on. And the rest you just don't want to be associated with. So, most people fail, and you don't want to be associated with failure. Plus, I was just a dick, I guess. I don't know. You get older. Yeah, my mom came by and knocked on the door this morning. She knows where I am now, And it's cute because she still thinks I'm some little kid. And I did go through a period where I was ill, really sick, with about 3 or 4 very severe illnesses, any one of which could have resulted in my death, And I just, when that happens, you physically and mentally also sort of just lose touch with things, sometimes even reality, although I was in touch with reality, but just like I didn't want to deal with it, But one thing you notice when you have been through a lot in your life is like a lot of people are addicted to drama. My mom came by all dramatic, pounding on the door, and she goes, "There's a new manager coming." This is first of all, let's put it in perspective. This is a trailer park, like RV park hellhole. It's like for old folks, It's like you're talking, I'm a guy who, used to own like, huge homes in Los Angeles in the finest areas. It's like I've been through a few things with real estate and shit before. And so it's humiliating enough to be here. But then she came by, and that's what I started doing this whole thing for, songs from the RV or whatever, because it's so absurd and ridiculous. It's funny. I just had to laugh at it, So she came by and was like, "Oh my God, a new manager's coming in here tomorrow, and my God, oh, you're in trouble, boy. You gotta clean this up and clean and do this and wash the RV. She'll kick you right out." And really, what I've learned in life is, and it's really helpful to sort of listen to people and go, "Okay, yeah." And then she started to repeat it again like 3 times. I went, "I got it, Mom. I get you." And to sort of then take the control of the ball yourself and not buy into their drama. Because, yeah, I could go nuts and wash the RV and clean the whole damn place up. I'd rather have them actually tell me what they want and have a clear dialogue with them. And if they want to kick me out, it's like, I'm not afraid anymore. I've been through so much. I don't live in fear anymore. I can, but I usually don't. Right now, a guy could walk up with a high-powered handgun and point it at me, and I'd go, "Dude, score a headshot, please." There just comes a point where it's like, man, or I'd pretend like I was going to say that and jump up and wrestle him around, maybe get shot. But, it's just, I'm not afraid, and people, I know it's her nature. She's a drama addict, but it's a lot of people are. And if you can learn to sort of filter out their drama and their bullshit, because she was trying to draw me into something, and I'm like, I haven't seen or heard from anybody from this little institution. It's a fucking RV park, Mom. Let's get real here. There's a dozen of them around here. Yes, it would be a drag. Yes, there's all kinds of like life or death circumstances depend on me staying right here. But, you know, let me see what they actually have to say before we start throwing fear and doubt and terror around, you know. And I'm in such a position in every way, financially and physically, and, you know, as far as everything, that, yeah, it would be a real drag to have to move. It's a good price at a good place, good location. But there are other places. And wouldn't that be the ultimate insult, to be like evicted from a fucking RV park, you know? So, yeah. Life is trippy. But it's helpful to me to go straight to the horse's mouth, not listen to other people's, their take on what he said and she said and they said, or listen to, you know, Bill's take about what Band X thinks about me as a producer, you know, after working with them. Talk to Band X about it, you know. You know, or the other thing people use is, well, like on YouTube, people who post use it a lot. They're like, well, you know, everybody says you're an asshole, so you must be an asshole. It's like, who's everybody? And also, you know, they just make shit up. But in life, somebody will go, well, people say that you're all fucked up. It's like, who are these people? You know, it's you. You know, and that's it. I'll count one. Fear and doubt, man. It sounds insane. I like that poem, though. I can't remember who wrote it, but he says, if you could... Oh, it's... I think it's the same guy who wrote The Hollow Men. We are the hollow men. Shape without form, shade without color. But he says, if you can keep your head about you when all those about you are losing theirs, which is really the trick to everything. I mean, even in an intense, like, hand-to-hand, you know, combat situation, keep it cool. See who's getting stabbed, who's getting shot where, and figure it out for yourself. Don't follow the screams and the you know, joust with shadows. Figure out what is really happening and address what is really going on in your life now, at the moment. Time is weird stuff because it's weird. The future, the past spreads out like this to the future, right? In a horizontal line. And the only way that we can access the past, so here's the past and the future, past, future, on a line. The only way we can access the past or the future is through now, which expands like this. You see what I mean? So I can't even dream. Without now, I can't dream about the future. I can't dream about the past. And I can't be here now. So time spreads out like that. And the only way I can access the future or the past is through right now, that goes up and down. Things can, you know, I could look at this as like, oh my God, I'm completely desperate. And, you know, it's just desperate. But it's like, I've seen it all, done it all too, unfortunately. I'll post some of those guitar shots. Yeah. People may already do this, you may already do this, I don't know, but man, it's really helpful to sort of filter other people's drama out and just stick with what is going on now and realize that part of they're trying to draw, and I feel sorry for Mom, she's trying to draw me into her life in some way on a deeper level, but that's all she knows is those kind of behaviors. So, Mom, right? And you can't say, hey Mom, screw you, Mom. She tries, but she just never had any instruction in any of this stuff, or yeah, she does pretty good. The church is all she has, and she sort of twists those rules to sort of meet her own needs a lot. So, and it's not her fault. She hasn't had any like formal and proper instruction that goes really deep in any of these subjects. And I guess parents always assume, you know your kids and see them in that light as like a child when they've probably grown up. Well, life ain't so damn bad. Oh, rapper ending. Yo, I'm out.